He thought the danger was behind him. The missions, the lies, the late-night calls that always ended in chaos. He built a new life, a quiet one, filled with breakfast pancakes, school drop-offs, and family movie nights. But peace has a funny way of ending when you least expect it. One phone call, one shadow in the driveway, one secret that refuses to stay buried. The perfect family man is about to be reminded that the past doesn't retire, it reloads. The sun rises over a quiet street. The world feels safe here, lawns trimmed, kids laughing, a father flipping pancakes like life never had a dark side. He smiles as his daughter runs through the kitchen, her backpack half-zipped, the dog barking for attention. It's the kind of morning that feels normal. Too normal. Because behind that smile is a man who used to be someone else, someone dangerous, someone the world thought was gone. His neighbors know him as Dan Morgan, the friendly guy who coaches Little League and helps fix car engines on weekends. But long ago, Dan wasn't fixing cars. He was destroying them. He wasn't running errands. He was running for his life. Years have passed since that world collapsed. Dan promised his wife, Lisa, that it was over. No more missions. No more weapons. No more lies. Just family, honesty, and peace. And for a while, he believed it. Every laugh at the dinner table, every bedtime story, every weekend trip, it all felt real, almost enough to make him forget what he once was. But deep down, he knew something this perfect couldn't last forever. There's a tension in the silence, a pulse beneath the calm. Because when you've lived a life built on secrets, you learn to recognize when the wind changes. That morning, Dan feels it. A small shift, the sound of a car engine idling a bit too long outside. The faint click of a camera shutter through an open window. His instincts kick in before his mind can catch up. The spoon slips from his hand as his old reflexes whisper the truth he doesn't want to hear. Someone's watching. He tries to brush it off, tells himself it's paranoia, that he's just tired. But then the phone rings. A number he hasn't seen in years. A number that shouldn't exist anymore. He stares at it, heart pounding, his daughter's laughter fading into a hum behind him. When he finally answers, a familiar voice has only one thing: they found you. In that moment, the air changes. The sunlight feels colder. His hands tremble as he turns off the stove, staring out the window at the world he built, the family he swore to protect. Every secret has a cost, and Don's past is ready to collect. The camera outside, the voice on the phone, the quiet before the storm, it all points to one truth. Peace is just an illusion, and for Dan Morgan, the mission was never over. It was only hiding. Don drives through the quiet streets of his neighborhood, pretending it's just another morning. But every mirror feels like an eye. Every sound feels like a warning. The phone call repeats in his head. They found you. He doesn't know who they are this time, but he knows what it means. The past he buried has finally dug itself free. The memories come back like flashes of lightning, faces, missions, betrayals. He sees the explosion in Paris, the chase through Berlin, the mission that ended it all, the one that made him disappear. He grips the steering wheel tighter, forcing the thoughts away. But ghosts don't listen when you tell them to leave. They come back louder. By the time he gets to work, he's already scanning the parking lot. The man who used to move through enemy lines now walks into a suburban office, pretending to sell insurance. His coworkers joke about weekend barbecues. Dan forces a laugh, his eyes still drifting to the reflection of the glass door behind him. There's a car parked across the street. Same one that was outside his house. Dark windows, no plates. The illusion of safety cracks a little more. He excuses himself, steps outside, and takes a slow breath. It's all happening again. And this time, he has everything to lose. At home, Lisa starts to notice the changes. The late nights, the distant eyes, the way he checks every lock twice before bed. She's seen it before. That look that never really left his face, even when he promised it was over. She asks, what's wrong? He smiles, says work stress, but she doesn't believe him. His son, Tyler, finds an old photo hidden behind a drawer, his dad in uniform, standing next to men with no names. The caption burned off. Tyler asks where it's from, but Dan just says, "Before you were born," and changes the subject. But secrets have a way of spilling out, especially when they're heavy enough to sink a man. The next day, a package arrives. No return address. Inside, a single photo. His family, Lisa and the kids, standing outside their home, smiling. But the picture isn't taken by them. It's taken from afar. Printed across the back, in black ink, is one line, "You can't hide forever." Don's blood runs cold. He feels the old world closing in. The enemies he once outsmarted are back, and this time, they're not after him. They're after the people he loves most. That night, he sits in the dark, the photo in his hand, the weight of it pressing against his chest. He thought he could outlive the life he once led. But you can't outrun who you are, not when the world remembers your name better than you do. The sound of thunder rolls outside, a storm creeping closer. He knows what comes next. They'll come for him. And when they do, they'll find out he's not the same man they left behind. He's something more dangerous, a father with everything to protect. The calm is over. The hunt has begun. The night sky burns with sirens and fear. Don's world is falling apart, piece by piece, and he knows there's no turning back. The people he once trusted are now hunting him. The home that was his safe place is now the target. His wife, his children, they've become the bait in a game he swore he'd never play again. He packs a small bag, cash, old passports, and something he hoped he'd never need again, a gun wrapped in cloth. Lisa watches from the hallway, fear and anger fighting for space in her eyes. "Who are you, Dan?" she finally asks. The question he's avoided for years. He looks at her, broken, and says quietly, "Someone I promised you I'd never be again." But promises don't stop bullets. They run. Not as a family going on vacation, but as fugitives trying to survive. Every city light feels like a spotlight. Every car behind them feels like a threat. Tyler, scared but brave, tries to help with the GPS, while his little sister clutches a stuffed toy tighter than ever. The tension in the car is heavy, but so is the love. Dan glances at them through the mirror, his heart torn between guilt and determination. He knows he can't undo the past, but he can fight for their future. And this time, he won't fight alone. As the night deepens, the chase intensifies. They're cornered in an abandoned industrial yard, steel, shadows, and echoes of the life he once lived. The enemies surround them, armed and ready. Lisa refuses to hide. She grabs a metal pipe, standing by Don's side. Tyler throws a rock to create a distraction, his small act of courage bigger than he realizes. It's chaos, fire, and motion, the past and present crashing together. Dan moves with precision, every move calculated, every strike protecting not himself, but the ones behind him. The man who once fought for orders now fights for love. And that makes him unstoppable. The final moment slows. Dust fills the air. Silence after the storm. The enemies are gone, some captured, some running. Dan stands there, bruised and bleeding, but alive. His family steps out from behind cover, eyes wide with both fear and pride. Lisa walks to him, tears mixing with rain, and says, "You should have told me." He smiles weakly and replies, "I wanted you to believe I was just a dad." She looks at him and says softly, "You still are." In that moment, the weight of every secret finally lifts. The danger isn't over, but the truth is finally out. And for the first time, they're fighting as one. As dawn breaks, the camera pulls back, a family walking away from the wreckage, hand in hand, with the rising sun behind them. The world may never know what they've survived, but they do. And that's enough. The words fade onto the screen, the family plan too. Then, a pause. A quiet laugh from the daughter. "Dad, next time, can we just go camping?" A faint smile crosses Don's face as he replies, "We'll see, kiddo." The screen cuts to black. Music swells. Coming soon, only on Apple TV.